assignment. This is going to be our demonstration file where I'm going to show you how to do each image. For these videos, I will also show you how to do the activities for each of them, but in class, this is the file we will be using as just our demonstration. You will wait to hand this in until we have completed each tool. Okay, so our Lasso tool is our group of free form selection tools. We use these when we don't necessarily have a specific item we'd like to select. Maybe I just want to select this little area of this leaf, okay? But these also give us a lot more control over what we are selecting, whereas some of the other selection tools, they have specific things that they can or can't select. The Lasso tool, we can select anything in the image that we want. It is a little bit more work on your end as you are selecting to trace the item that you're selecting, but each of these Lasso tools you'll see it work a little bit differently from each other. The regular Lasso tool is the one that's the most freeform out of all of them. The most you have the most control out of this tool versus the other tool, which I'll explain in the next set of videos. So your Lasso tool is located here. It will either be under your marquee tool or under your move tool, depending on how your toolbox is set up. The letter L is your shortcut. We have the same options up here that we have with the marquee tool, which is new selection, add to selection, subtract from selection, and intersect from selection. You'll notice when you use this tool that you click and drag. Sometimes you will have to either start over or you may have to add to selection or subtract from selection. So right there where I just traced, I have a little bit of the sky in the picture that I will have to remove after I'm done with the selection. So all you do is you click and you drag. You do not let go. If you do let go before you get back to where the beginning of this item was, so if I let go right now, it's going to automatically create the selection for you. So if this happens, and let's say this is how far you've gotten, I would not suggest to restart. You can deselect and start it again, or you can go up to here to our options and click add to selection. And you just have to make sure anytime you use these options that you're overlapping. So you're starting inside of the already created selection in order to tell Photoshop that you want to add this. So I'm going to start somewhere inside of the selection up here. And all you do is you just continue drawing the way you were. And having these options at the top of our screen, let it be so that we don't have to worry about being 100% perfect. Now, you do want to get back to the beginning of where you selected and again, go inside to make sure you're overlapping and it will add that piece. Now, if you have any places where you have too much, like here, you can just switch to subtract from selection. And again, you want to make sure you're overlapping and going inside of the selection, okay? And that will give you your perfect selection. So you can use add or subtract. You can use intersect as well, but for these I didn't need to. So I'm just going and I'm making sure that I add in these pieces that are not inside. Once you're done, you can go to our adjustment layers here at the bottom in our layers panel. Click hue and saturation, and all you need to do for this is change the saturation, the hue. You can change saturation if you'd like to, but all I want is to see that you've changed the color. Now, because we already made the selection, it automatically creates what we call a layer mask. A layer mask is basically a way to hide and show parts of your image. So by selecting the item first, it made the adjustment only go on to the layer mask versus if I didn't have this selected. So here I'll do an example. Let's say I just wanted to change the picture of the leaf. If I did the same exact step of hue and saturation without first making the selection, it starts to change everything below it in the document. So that's why it's important that we make the selection first if we want to have the adjustment inside of a certain area. Okay, so that's our Lasso tool. Okay, now with this assignment, you're going to go to our activity 19. This will be on Google Classroom. You're gonna rasterize the layer for the cat. Layer, rasterize, smart object. And you're gonna use the lasso tool to, again, cut out the cat. So you're just gonna trace it. You're gonna do a nice clean selection. So like this. Go around the cat. Okay. Try to do your best. Of course, if you mess up like I just did, go to subtract from selection. And then you're going to select inverse to switch to the background and press delete. You're going to press Command D or select deselect to deselect the selection. And you're just going to move the cat to the top of the tree like this. And that will be it for this assignment. So you're going to hand in this assignment. The demo file that we were just on, you will attach separately.